Who's with us? Is it just Jun and David, or is Kara and Lante there too?
Lante's following, but Kara is just snoring away upstairs.
Yeah, I think
Ella
we
and
should
Luna
just
are also going along.
obviously.
And David Jr.
We need a new name for him. How about Tourette?
No, that's really stupid, man.
He
Say that
looks
to
towards
Mouse.
you and looks offended.
Who?
Say that to Mouse.
No, I mean, no. Mouse are obviously the superior rodent, so Mickey Mouse is called Mickey Mouse because he's mouse. There's no Mickey Red, you know?
Is there a cartoon with a rat? Master
Yeah,
Splinter?
Splinter. I can call him Splinter, I guess.
He looks towards you and kind of tilts his head a little bit.
I point to him and say, David, I shake my head, Splinter, and then I nod my head. I boop him, I say, Splinter, you are Splinter now.
As you do so, you feel something drain from inside you, and you feel a spell slot get used.
Do I have a spell slot? I do not have a spell slot available.
In which case, you just start to feel suddenly very drained. You're disadvantaged on any rolls you have to make the rest of the day.
Okay, I do not know why teaching him his name is so tiring, but I feel really drained suddenly.
His eyes glow a little bit
Hey.
as he looks at you.
Okay, do you guys see this as well, or am I tripping balls?
Do we see
I
it?
see it
Or-
as well. Yeah.
Rat shouldn't do that.
Rats shouldn't do a lot of things that these rats do.
Their eyes definitely shouldn't glow, though, I feel.
There's nothing wrong with glowing eyes, okay?
There's everything wrong with glowing eyes. What if the rat also loses brain cells?
What are you trying to say?
Do I have to explain it?
Use them. I store them away for more important things. That's the difference. Like for the conversation we're about to have soon.
Alright, sure.
Also, there was a drawing of you in the archives. You're
Was
not
it a good
allowed anymore
drawing?
there. That more facial hair than you have. Like there was a big mustache or something, right? Brandon?
Yes, I took the liberty of apologising on your behalf whilst we're at the record keeper. By
Oh
the way.
yeah. Can I punch David now?
Roll with disadvantage.
You don't need to actually do that, John.
You miss.
Yep, you go to hit him and you flail.
Are you
Still gotta roll damage. Yeah.
June?
Be-
You want to
because-
explain yourself?
Yeah. So we made a promise. I emphasize we. We made a promise to the archive guy that we should punch you for what you did to his archive. Oh, now I made the promise complete. I pat him on the face. I totally missed. No bad blood or offense, whatever. No, just keeping promises.
Don't make those kind of promises again.
Yeah, but he didn't say how hard I should hit you. He just said, "Oh, he did say."
I'm for the
I
record.
start winding up my fist.
I'm Dave. To clarify, I made no promises. I literally just apologised as a matter of course, since we were there already.
Yeah, I believe that.
But he said, "Punch him if you see," and I said, "Yes."
We did find we found a document there that might be related to.
What did it say?
Well, the thing is, I couldn't read it, but fortunately, I have a mobile phone, which I did keep out of sight, and I took pictures of said documents so that you could translate it later.
It said wyvern. I could read that.
I suppose since we're on the subject, I might as well show it to you.
As you showed the documents, there are a bunch of pictures of different things from various jobs that the town has put out for extermination. There's a bunch of different rat jobs. There's one brood mother job, and the main one, obviously, is the wyvern job. This saw a group of 7 people going after the wyverns. The wyvern had attacked a farmstead and killed 3 people, including 2 children, and the town had rallied against them as a result. It took approximately 4 days, and the group went out with a handful of cows and used the cows as bait to attract the wyverns. After it took about 2 days, roughly, though there are several accounts saying it was 1 day, several accounts saying it was 4 days, before the wyverns eventually took bait. And it took a lot of wandering. No nest of any kind was located. They both appeared to be male by best estimates.
I relay this information. So, yeah, they did attack the villagers, 2 children and 1 adult. And it took a couple of days before they managed to successfully bait the wyverns. But apparently both male, so...
Cletus, I went to see Cletus as well.
How's he
and
doing? Still alive?
Funny you should mention that. I don't know if it's the honey itself, but he ate some whilst we were talking, and it seemed to restore his muscles wartime. He was actually pretty lucid for a few minutes. I mean, it wore off pretty quickly. Apparently, he's under some sort of curse, he said.
What kind of curse? By who? Who made it and why?
He didn't elaborate, but
But did you ask?
I didn't, if I'm honest, but to be fair, if I had, I probably wouldn't have gotten any information out of him. It probably lasts. His rejuvenated state lasted, I would say, maybe about 5 minutes less. It was literally enough time for him to relay a similar story. He was apparently a part of the hunting party that went after those wyverns.
Interesting.
He did also mention that there was he mentioned a location. I believe it was 10 hours east of town. But as you said, there was no nest, so I'm guessing that's where they faced him.
Yeah, and if these reports are correct and they were males, there is little evidence to believe there is a nest. So I assume that this is a nice bridge into the subject that you want to talk about.
Yes.
Catch that right? Was the honey making him younger?
It was rejuvenating him. I don't know if it was actually... He looked a heck of a lot younger, maybe about 40 years younger. But when it wore off, I couldn't really understand him anymore, but he was saying something about his muscles atrophying.
But then again, we also don't know if it was the honey that made it like that or something else.
Well, I mean, if he was under a curse, then I imagine the honey obviously did something to temporarily undo the curse.
Maybe a coincidence.
He seemed, I don't know, maybe it was connected, maybe it wasn't, but he didn't do it before, so I assume that it might have done something for him. But no, I want to say a couple of things before we start, and I know this is going to seem like really out of left field, but I wish Kara was here, honestly, because, and I'll have to repeat this to her again, but I don't ever think I actually formally thanked you all for saving my life. From the dogs, I mean.
Ah, okay. I was unsure if you meant in the mines, because that was also partially my fault.
No, specifically that it occurred to me that it was probably implied, but I don't think it was ever explicitly stated.
It's alright. I know you would have done the same for us.
I might not be the best at social cues, but I know that you guys have done a lot for me today without asking anything in return or any questions. I know I asked not to talk about what happened, but I need to explain myself to you guys. You deserve at least that much.
Go ahead.
Well, I didn't mean to just leave like I did this morning. I genuinely was under the impression that I was only going to be gone for a couple of hours. I said as much to John. So, I am very sorry about that.
I don't think it's something you should apologize for, since it was just a misunderstanding.
I didn't think. I heard her say the words next town over, but it just didn't register. Because I was happy.
Takes hold of Brandon's hand, giving it a gentle squeeze.
I can't stop thinking about her. Even now. I just thought if I kept doing things, that I would just stop seeing her smiling in my mind. But her face won't go away. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm talking about this. We found her remains. We have proof. Why did I go back to town? Why do I keep thinking about that fucking claw mark? She's dead. Why can't I let this go?
Because you love her.
What?
The grief you are feeling.
No. I've known her for less than 24 hours, and of that time, I've spent less than an hour with her. I just walked with her 5 minutes out of town. I got into a carriage, and all I did was break her heart. The last moments of her life, I made her feel alone. I can't let this go. I need to find her. I need to find her, or I need to find her body. I'm sorry. I've done it again.
What did you mean by you have done it again? It's okay if you do not want to explain, but
No.
if you wanted to get off your chest.
No, honestly, John, this is probably a bit overdue. My mum died a couple of months ago.
Mother.
Yeah.
My condolences. I didn't know.
You never told me.
I didn't tell anyone. I just wanted to put that part of my life behind me. She hasn't been well since my dad passed away. Dead for about 12 years. It hit my mum pretty hard. She was okay at first, just tried to carry on. But over time, I just saw her being chipped away, little by little. And then it got to the point where she couldn't work anymore. So I just took on whatever jobs I could. I ended up working double shifts on a production line for the last 10 years, and I just did everything to earn money for us both, just to put something on the table. She used to smile a lot. She was a very happy woman, just so full of life, and to just see that spirit just leave the person. We found out maybe about 3 years ago that her mental health was really declining. She eventually developed, I believe it was a rare form of Alzheimer's. She just started to forget things. She became angry at me, angry at the world, just at everything. I was at work one night and I got a phone call from the local hospital. She'd been rushed in by a neighbour and she was in a pretty bad way, and I asked to speak with her. And when she answered, she was crying, and she said, "You've made my life so unhappy. Everything would have been fine if your father lived. And you died instead." That was the last time I ever heard her voice. I broke her heart too. She had the same smile. Moira, the smile was the same. I know I'm irrational. I know the facts paint a very different picture to what I'm thinking, but I can't ignore what I saw. There was a claw mark on the tree. There were no tracks. The footprint was against the trunk. There's no way that these things can't be connected. If there is a slight chance that she is alive, I will not stop looking for her. I know our situation. I know things are difficult. I know how much I'm asking, but I will not let another person I care about die. If there is anything I can do.
You're not asking too much, Brendan. Don't
Don't
worry about it.
I don't care if she never wants to speak to me again. I don't care if she slaps me or kicks me or anything like that. I just want to tell her that I am sorry. I want her to live. I want her to have a happy life. Because maybe if I could save her, maybe I can finally redeem myself and just not be worthless for once.
And suppose
Me and Martinez, if I may speak on his behalf, will help you with anything you need. I mean, it's not irrational to be hopeful. It's a driving force that keeps us going. And I'm glad you spoke out your mind, your feelings towards us. And I appreciate that you see us as people you can be honest and open with. I never knew about these things, perhaps because our friendship was only online or wanted to keep it to yourself. So I'm very honored.
John, you
But-
have your own problems.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I cannot listen to yours. We all have our problems here, but we're friends and we're in this together. And how are we? Sometimes we need help from others, and sometimes our own problems get fixed by helping others.
But let me make one thing very clear. I am not telling you this because I am begging for your help. I am telling you this because regardless of what happens next, I am going to find her. I am not going to try. I am not going to half-ass it. I am going to find her or I will die trying. That's why I've been different. Because it occurs to me just how selfish and how childish I have been. Not just to you, but to all the people around me. So I just felt the need to apologize. Because honestly, I don't know if I'm going to get another chance to. There's nothing to be done tonight, though. I'm at least rational enough to acknowledge that point. I'm tired. We're all tired. I'm going to go out that way tomorrow. I'm going to search every nook and cranny that I can. Even after hearing Cletus's story, even after hearing that account, I will do what I have to do. I will fight whoever I have to. Nothing or no one is going to stop me. If I die doing this, I like to think that you'll find someone else. There isn't anything that I can do that another person probably couldn't learn.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with that on 3 accounts here by what you're saying. First off, it's not your fault, the fact that your father died 12 years ago. Maybe your mother blamed you for it. Maybe it's because of something else. But from what you have told me, it's not your fault. Second, you're not useless, even if you don't believe it. You have saved our lives multiple times. So if you say that that doesn't mean anything, that that's worthless,
No.
that's the worth of our souls.
No, Dave, I would never disparage the efforts that you, John and Cara and everyone else whom we've come across has treated us. Well,
And what about yourself? What about the efforts that you put in?
You're up there along us as well. You have not done anything less than the rest of us.
You have put more work and more thought in anything than anyone else I've known. Learning how to
You've
enchant
made
things,
it.
creating magical items. This bag of holding that I'm carrying is because of you. And it made
You've
my
made-
life so much easier.
You've
So
made
don't
this
discourage
kidnapping.
yourself.
Sorry. You've made this kidnapping much easier for me because despite anything, I have a real friend along my side while going through shit. And no one could take that place, Brandon. Really, I mean it. I would have lost it without you.
I would have been dead.
It was
Thank
like
you.
all of us.
thank you.
And
Both of you,
I will
thank you.
promise you, Brandon, that you will not die. I will do anything in my abilities or whatever the fuck I can do, and I will be there till you're done. But you will not end up dying while we're around.
Dave, if I may, what we talked about after we found the stuff in the rats, you told me that there was nothing I could have done, and I partially agree with you, and I appreciate what you were trying to do for me, but I don't want to save her just because of how I feel.
Because you feel guilty.
Yes, she couldn't have travelled for another minute after I left her. I broke my word to her. I know that you are a man who holds a similar principle, and I take my promises seriously. I tried to make it right with her. I tried to offer her anything she wanted, but she just was too upset. And the fact that I was there, wasn't in my own head and paying a bit more attention, I probably would have caught her. So my honor as a man demands that I see this through. I hope you can at least understand that.
I can. On one condition. And that's that you stop being so selfish. That you think you have to do all of this on your own. We're here
Dave,
with you.
the reason I'm asking to do this on my own is because I don't want you to get hurt. Or Jun or Kara. Kara is a teenage girl. Jun is still trying to figure out what they want in life. You have a wife. I have nothing to go back to. I have no purpose anymore. The only reason I feel this way now is because she woke me up. I don't know how else to describe it, but ever since I left her, I've felt more alert and lucid than I have in years. It's like I just suddenly realized how childish I've been. Because David, speaking frankly, all I have wanted to do throughout my entire time here is to keep you all safe so you can go home and live the lives that you were supposed to. That's why I pulled Kara out of the mines at the beginning. It's why I leaned over your body when you were being beaten down in the mines, knowing that I wouldn't get up. It's why I advocate caution at every turn, because I know that there has to be a balance. We need to move forward, but we need to move forward at a pace that isn't going to get us killed. I understand how that can come across as being selfish. It's just, I just don't want anyone to die for my sake.
And you think we're okay with it being the other way around? You think? I haven't told anyone this, but from the research that I've done, time moves on. So for every night, day that we have been gone from home, time moves on from them as well. There is a possibility that I don't have a wife to return to, even when I get home. So at the very least, let us all return home, so we at least have each other.
Alright, I can get behind that. I swear to you both that I will do everything in my power to help you in any way that I can. I have some ideas, Dave. I don't know if they're going to be useful, and I don't think this is the time or place to discuss them. But the reason I wanted to talk about this out here is because I'm petrified that if I even breathe a word of this in the shop, Devlin is just going to pack his shit up and he's just going to take us away from here. And I cannot risk that.
I can understand that. At the very least, we do have a couple of days, because he seems to be, as he says it, intrigued, but I think he's excited by the greenhouse.
Okay, maybe we have more time than I thought then.
So I think he's at the very least willing to wait until that's complete, maybe a day more.
Okay.
He also said he appreciates us.
He appreciates us?
Yes, because his other employees were less thrilled working for him.
You want to know something? You want to know something that's funny? You'll genuinely get a laugh out of this, I think.
That would be a pleasant change. Go on.
Sorry,
It's
I know.
alright.
I know this has been a lot. If Devlin had asked me to help him, I would have. If he'd respected our basic rights, I would have gone on this journey willingly.
That's interesting. What? You had a girlfriend you were supposed to meet or something?
Oh yeah, the Comic-Con.
Yeah, that one.
Me
It wasn't
and
really a girlfriend, right?
me and Holly didn't really know each other that well. To kind of give some context, I recently joined an anime society just as a way to, it was before what happened. It was before my mom passed away, but when you have a group of friends or a group of acquaintances that tell you about a girl that might be good for you, it was more like that. Kind of hearing stories about it. The Comic-Con would have been the first time we actually met. But my point is more that all I've really wanted to do with my life is to help people. It's all I've ever wanted to do, really. And I hate our world so much. There's more to the story that I told you, but it's not really relevant to this conversation. We're just seeing the multiverse in a simpler way of life. I can't say that I miss home, if I'm being brutally honest.
I can understand that from your perspective.
I can kind of see that as well. Whilst I do not miss home, I do miss a few people there. But it's also like you said, if Devlin would have asked us, it wouldn't. I would have said yes to traveling the multiverse.
If he was just a bit
I would
more...
have said no.
Well, I mean...
Since we're all being honest,
I
I obviously would not
well, I mean,
agree.
I could understand that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Since we're all being honest here, I thought...
No,
let's make it
but
clear.
yeah. I kind of feel that in already.
Okay.
I
You're
mean...
the only one really set on going back.
I mean, yeah.
But what I'm more
I'm
meaning is... Sorry, go on.
I'm not living my life just for me.
Of course not.
Uh-huh.
And...
Same
Yeah.
thing with what you said, Brandon. When you took on that extra jobs for your mom. It's the same situation I'm in.
Wait,
Minus...
You
why do you need to...
Oh,
David, I don't think I've ever actually asked before, but why do you need to take on extra jobs when you have a partner? Like, is she...
she's alive still, mentally well. So it's similar, but not completely. She got in an accident, so she, because of that, is unable to work. So I'm now
Oh,
the sole
Dave.
provider.
Oh, Dave, I am so sorry. I had no idea.
It's fine. It took some time, and also almost dying. But I realized, caution is best, and
You know something though,
It's-
Dave? I was wondering if it was something like that, because I remember when I pulled Kara out of the mines the first time, I looked at your face and you were not concerned, you were angry. And I think I now understand exactly why. I feel terrible for thinking that.
it's not your fault.
But
My judgment then, especially then, was clouded. I want to go back as fast as possible, no matter the cost. And that is the issue, no matter the cost. Because it took us almost dying multiple times for me to realize that it's not worth dying over. I know she's being taken care of by her sister.
Oh, okay, good.
No, so we have family there.
Okay.
that's...
I was getting slightly worried.
Financially, I have life insurance, so maybe if they report me as missing, yeah.
Once we have done in this world whatever we needed to do, I think we have to be a little bit distant, quicker, focused, because
We need...
whilst I and Brandon can take our time, I feel like we should bring you back as soon as possible to salvage the missing days.
If that is possible, one. And two, I spoke with Deneville, and time travel is not a thing that is possible. Because I was hoping that perhaps...
I changed my mind on something. I'll mention my idea now because I think it's going to be quite relevant.
Go ahead.
Astral projection.
What's that?
Like we meditate and go to our
Think...
deities.
No, think about it.
Oh,
When you go... No matter where you have been in the multiverse, regardless of the world we've been in or even traveling between it, you are able to travel consistently to the library. My point is, I am wondering if the library is a physical place or not.
I don't know.
The reason I'm bringing it up is that there is obviously some form of anchor that allows you to hone in on that location. My idea is, what if there is a way to, with enough training, create an anchor back home?
Home?
it sounds possible. My grandmother used to tell me stuff about that dreams are like a way of our soul to leave our body.
I'm also...
And it's kind of what we do when we visit the planes of our respective deities. We meditate or we sleep or whatever,
David,
but our consciousness leaves, right?
I have another question. When you've been in
Yeah.
the library, have you ever tried to cast magic?
No, I haven't.
Because, I mean, I know next to nothing about this, but where does magic reside? Is it a biological aspect of our being, or is it tied to the spirit? Because if I'm kind of intuiting correctly, if it's a part of the spirit, then the magic could go with you.
Perhaps
Excellent
it's something you can try tonight.
thing. I'm gonna make a note on my phone for that.
Because look, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I was meaning to bring this up later, but I think this is a good time. Because what I'm thinking, Dave, is if you could learn, if astral projection works in the way that I think it might, and you could learn magic to, I don't know, heal or help, maybe at least you can go home and just let your wife know what happened to you, and perhaps give her some quality of life, so at least she isn't left with just memories.
I appreciate that, Brandon. But that's something I will have to look into.
John,
Yeah?
will you be visiting Eldef tonight?
I try to visit her every night, but it's not a guarantee.
If you do, could you ask her to watch over Moira, wherever she is?
I certainly will. Yeah, I will.
I would still like to try the experiment that I proposed, by the way, Dave, regarding the library.
We can do that tonight.
Thank you for listening to me. I didn't want to hold this back any longer. I've been holding myself together today.
It's alright. It's, whenever you feel like you want to talk about stuff, you can always talk to us. And that goes for any of us, really. Wait, out of character. Is Lante there?
Lante is...
Usually.
Lante right now is... This is way more than he signed on for.
And I slightly glance to him as an opening, like, if you want to talk about something, there's always space. And then, but also you...
Speaking of Lante, is PT back?
Speaking of him.
No, that's it.
Literally just sat down.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
In that case, June, you can continue, and then I will.
Yeah. So,
Make my points.
whilst I say to Brandon, if anyone ever wants to talk about anything, I then look at Langte, who has been silent the entire conversation. Feel free to talk to any of us, even like it's important to get these things off your chest, because if you keep it inside, it will either gnaw away or spill over.
Oh, Lante, I am so sorry. I honestly forgot that you were here.
I'm with Lante.
Yeah, it's alright. It's fine.
By the way, Lante, since the agreement was that we would take you to the next world with us, you are still welcome to travel with us. But if you decide to stay in this world, feel free to. Your life is yours to choose.
I'll consider what my options are, but I do owe you a lot, each of you.
Actually, this is a good moment. Lante, I can't repay you for what you have taught me of enchanting, and I'll be blunt, I probably will have more questions for you before you make your decision, but I don't, like at the beginning of the conversation, I don't think I have actually said thank you. I know you had everything to gain from helping us, but you still took a big risk in accompanying us, and especially when, well, I wouldn't have faulted you for running away from knowledge, but you debatably gave Kara the opening she needed to stave him off, and I think you probably saved our lives.
Feeling mutual. I'll be there and dead one way or the other sooner.
But the thing is, Lante, between now and then, you've got some living to do.
I don't want you to feel like you owe us.
No.
You have, paid back more than you're worth.
The assistance you've rendered unto me alone.
And the knowledge you have given us.
I also think we do not, while expecting something back, Langte. We helped you because you deserve to be helped and we want to help, that's it. It's not like You owe us. We do
Right.
something without expecting to receive something back.
David looks curiously at June.
Well, at least that's kind of how I see it. When you do something good out of the goodness of your heart, you just do something good, and you do not think, "Oh, now they will do something good for me," right?
Positive
It's
reciprocity.
outside of like a business kind of deal, you know. Then it's normal. But if you're talking about just doing good,
I
you
believe
just do
that-
good.
I believe the philosophy you're talking about is positive reciprocity.
Yeah, those are a lot of difficult words.
How I saw the agreement we made was more a business transaction. He guided
that's
us to
why
where we
he-
needed to go, and we took him to the next world.
Yeah, that's why I leave making deals to you, but I did the thing. Like same with today, I helped somebody to gain something, but when I just try to do something good, I leave it at that.
No, I can understand that. The beginning, especially with Lante, was one transaction. We take him with us, and he helps us get the item we need and back. And everything he has done for us afterwards, and also vice versa. It's just out of, I don't want to
Decency.
say friendship, because I don't want to get ahead of myself, but
I would say decency is appropriate.
decency, kindness.
Generosity, selflessness.
Yeah.
Are you just naming synonyms now? Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's funny. I use that word to describe people a lot, and it seems to be received as an insult, but when I call people decent, I am calling them precisely that. They haven't wronged me, they haven't done anything to help me, but I am open to, having some form of positive interaction with them. Because decent is not a word that I would use to describe many of the people in the world that we come from.
So far, as far as we have experienced, our world is the meanest, right?
Oh,
Is that-
I wouldn't speak too soon on that, Count John.
Yeah. I also don't quite agree with that. Not saying that we are great.
There are different...
Yeah, but
The ba-
given the history we know about our kind,
The scales are balanced differently. There's inequality and strife in every world we visit. It's just it takes different forms.
Yeah, we had enslaved goblins, cultists that
Yeah.
tried to destroy the world, and now we have rats.
The people there are nice, overall.
The people are often, but most of the time, the
If-
common folk are just nice people.
Yeah, common
It's
folk.
often, like the average person is a nice person.
I'm hoping that in completing our objective here, we can actually help these people. They've been nothing but good to us.
We still need to head west to the forest to find...
There was something.
Because I think that the family of Julicia is also somewhat responsible for the rat plague.
Rat problem.
Yes.
They've the thing about them experimenting on them is still kind of stuck in my mind.
And to kind of get back on the original topic of this discussion, there is a chance that Moira is still alive. Because the things that we have seen were only parts of her dress.
It was very surface.
Superficial. Superficial
Superficial.
might be the term
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah,
So-
superficial.
Evidence. So there is still a chance that she's alive. It could be that perhaps, I don't know, she took to the trees, something else grabbed her, flew away, which is also why you're looking into the raven things. Or it could be that maybe the rats took her somewhat alive.
The only reason I've been so resistant against the idea is the lack of tracks, because even if that was true, even if Moira's trail ended there, whatever got her should have had tracks leading away. And I know that Bella and Luna scoped the perimeter of that scene quite thoroughly and came up with nothing.
I don't know if gut feelings are something you can base things off, but I really had feeling like when Bella and Luna stayed at the same spot and kept looking around, the scuffle marks as well as the claw mark and the boot mark, and just like
And it
gut
took to the
feeling.
skies.
Most likely it took to the skies. My eyes were often
problem-
drawn upwards.
The problem is, if Bella and Luna were the type of creatures that could climb and inspect up there, we would probably have a better idea, but when you think about it, we only really gave the upper area a cursory inspection, and we are not trained hunters. I know Derek did as well.
Can, not David, what's his new name? Splinter. Maybe track as well. Can we teach him?
Rats often have a keen sense of smell, and maybe if I can talk to him, he might know what happened. If he can, oh no, all the rats are dead. Okay,
I think, and this is also my personal gut feeling, that we might find a clue if we head west.
we should take every route of possibility anyways to make sure we leave nothing unseen. And I remember a thing when when Brandon and I, that's a nice way, when Brandon and I were talking about our frustrations of our inabilities sometimes, that our biggest strength is when we plan and work together before doing something. And I think that's how we should start tomorrow, with getting up fresh, having a good meal, and do some proper planning.
But where will we be heading tomorrow?
And that is the question, because where
Right
I
now we
intend to
only have-
search, is it 10 hours in the opposite direction?
Yeah, right now we only have 2 options. It's either 2 or 3 hours west or 10 hours east.
Okay,
If
well,
I can give my...
I'll be.
Two
I think logically we're going to come to the same conclusion or a similar one. It makes more sense to go 2 or 3 hours west, accomplish our task there, come back, and then have a chance of being able to maybe make time in the opposite direction later in the day. And if we find a lead in the direction it takes less time, then we don't have to make the other journey at all. Is that more or less the long and short of it?
Kind of, but different reason. Because tomorrow, and I believe the day afterwards as well, we'll be getting our shipment of glass for the greenhouse. So I think if we tomorrow go westward, we can probably do that in a single day. Then go back to the shop, rest, get our last shipment, finish the greenhouse. Lante can do the spell for binding it to the shop while we head east.
Going east wouldn't just be the wyverns, we could also finally collect, I'm sorry mentioning about, we could also collect the Clara flowers we had on our
That's
list.
also, yeah.
So we would be doing 2 things at the same time, hopefully.
But then we don't have an stack of glass paints waiting at our doorstep, because that's going to probably take a day or 2, probably 2, maybe 3.
We could,
There's only one other-
leave the greenhouse
There is a-
unbuilt.
There is something
So it
else I would
gives
like to
us mere
suggest.
time.
Sorry, if I may.
Oh, no, of course, go on.
I know our funds are really tight. But maybe we could get
Yeah.
Devlin a couple of bucks. See if we can buy time that way. He does seem to be less cantankerous when he's occupied.
Okay.
True.
Because we're making all of our plans based on the assumption of a hard 2-day deadline or 4-day deadline. Sorry, I'm tired, so maybe I'm not keeping up. But we basically need to buy all the time we can.
I think Devlin is more willing than we might give him credit.
It's
He's
only
warming up
because
to us, you say?
it's only because not even a day ago he was expressing his impatience at how long this was taking. I know I mean, he didn't really take a lot of convincing, but the fact that he floated the idea of leaving without accomplishing this task at least demonstrates to me that he's considering it.
Yeah. But I think we still have
But-
both days.
And then again, he did say something about us being one of the most cooperative people he had.
Yeah.
So it would also be his loss to make us dislike him.
Yeah. That's also a fact.
And I do think as long as we try to stay nice to him and be understanding, in return, he will also be understanding of us.
That is
Hopefully.
fair. I mean, I am not sure if I can ever bring myself to be friends with Devlin, but I will be civil with him. I
That's-
feel that ever
more
since
than enough.
our first couple of interactions, really, I should say. For me, that way works. Just a transactional relationship, just based on courtesy, I guess.
Yeah, that's that.
It occurs to me as well I might have to try and repair my relationship with Mouse. He isn't going to do it.
Have you been
We
mean to
haven't.
Mouse?
I mean, do you not remember the whole thing about the room and the cheese and me kind of doubting his word, and then sort of that whole argument him and Devlin had? And I sulked for about 2 hours.
Yeah, sure, I remember.
It's really petty now, considering all we've been through. But
I think Mouse is easily convinced as long as you have cheese.
I was considering getting some.
He's been quite nice to me, but then again, I also am the one giving him cheese.
Me and Mouse are also good friends. We
Again,
talk about random stuff.
I think
Acceptable.
I just think I need to make him a peace offering, basically. I mean, even if he doesn't remember, I think... As much as I'm loath to admit it, Devlin was right about one thing, and it's that we do have to try and coexist together, even though he, frankly, is in absolutely no position to say that to us, considering the circumstances of our introduction.
I agree.
But too much has happened, and...
If you wanna make a peace offering with Mouse, red Leicester cheese.
I remember.
I learned. If you wanna, I don't know, make a peace offering with Devlin books, and he also likes the color emerald green. Do with that information what you want.
Right. Okay. Listen, I think at this point we could probably go back to the shop, couldn't we? I've said my piece. But I suppose the only thing to kind of clarify, I mean, I can't lie, David, I really want to go east, but I know that you're right.
We can do both. Doesn't have to be one of the two. I think our best plan of attack is now go westwards, because we have been putting that off for quite some while. It could be our final destination, and then we have to go and bury her. Or it could be that we have another clue from there point onward, and then afterwards go east.
There was a certain clue that led us to the west as well, right?
A certain what?
The cloud flowers?
Like no, to the west. Like I am mentally tired in a long day. I'm getting flashbacks to rats, okay? But our latest clue was leading us to the west, to a hut where there might be more clues about Julie, sure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's the reason why we go west.
But that's not the same place her parents are, right?
We don't know where her
Might
parents
be.
are at. It might be that that hut is where her parents are. We don't know.
They went west, northwest-ish.
Okay,
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours walk.
Dave.
No, I don't have the time. It just said the parents went west, northwest.
Dave, what I would ask is if we do go west, Belle and Luna are obviously going to come with us, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Could we periodically have them sniff some of Moira's things? Just in case they pick up the trail again. If we do that, then there's no... I only have a room and it's not a good lead. If she's alive, I just hope I'm not going to be too late.
Even we have witnessed how properly take care of herself. Like, she does not let the people of the tavern walk over her, and
How
she's
How do you know
me as
that?
a tough one. Wasn't she very vocal to the people that were kinda flirting with her? She kinda hit back.
You know what, I could believe that.
And she took the lead in courting you. She was nice enough to help me with my hair. I sit through it. So she can... if she can sit an entire morning with me, she can take on anything.
There is still one more thing that I want to discuss, and now you bring that up. If we, in the future, make a plan to do something with somebody else, so let's say help someone doing an errand, whatever it is, let's let everybody know before leaving.
I would say, Dave,
errand
the only reason I didn't do that is because I knew that you were still asleep.
It's
Because
okay to wake me up.
because I'm sorry, Lante, but you and your lady friend did make a lot of noise.
Yeah, but I would rather be woken up saying, "Hey, I'm going to do this,"
Okay, that's
and then I can do again. Go back
It's
to
a
sleep if needed.
it's a fair point, Dave. I only thought I was, look, in my mind, I thought I was going to be gone for, I thought I'd be back before you woke up. That was my logic, but no, point taken.
It's just for the next time.
No, you're right. My logic was well intentioned, but anyway, I think it's time we go home.
Are you gonna say these things to Kara as well when she wakes up?
No,
I do want to include her because I felt bad when she said she doesn't feel like we want her around. But it seems like we often move parallel along each other.
Kara needs to find her feet. I kind of get the impression that the reason that she's coped so well with this new reality is that I don't think it's really hit home for her yet. I just get the impression that she doesn't comprehend the full danger of what we're doing. I mean, just eating the rat kebabs alone when there's the risk of her turning into a whirlwind. Well, yeah, and going off on her own. I mean, I know she's the most capable fighter out of all of us, but she was in trouble when we found her.
Yeah. And also, if the weight of reality hits her, I think we should be around.
Then we'll be there. We'll be there
sure.
to help her.
Yeah. We could try to suggest or ask her if whenever she might not be feeling, because some of the days she was sick and not feeling well, she could stay at home, so at least we're put at ease. She's not in any danger. She's not out there alone with whatever the fuck
We
is
need
out there
to
sometimes.
we need to talk to Kara, basically. But
Yeah.
I would, a lot of what I said here tonight was just the reason I said a lot of the stuff I said tonight is because I knew that this was going to be affecting you guys more than her. I mean, she hasn't really been around for most of this, so it wasn't as imperative, I suppose, that she
Yeah.
got that explanation. But especially what I said about my life, I will tell her that myself. Don't worry, I will mention it.
Alright. Are you going to visit the library with David tonight? Or at least try to?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You know, yeah. If this works, I am actually quite curious to meet your patron, David.
Yeah, he's alright.
Well, let's not waste any more time, eh?
And with that, we head back, I think.
In which case, I think that will be the point where we end the session.
Which is fair enough. This is actually
Yeah.
as long as the last session now.
We've there's been, well, 2 breaks from me in it, but only one of them actually interrupted Ethan.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so that is it for tonight. So we'll pick this up next time. But until then, thank you very much for watching.
Emotional damage.
Summarizes this session quite well, I agree. And yeah, we'll speak to you next time.